So here today we have the Leatherman Arc once again, and for many people this will be the perfect Leatherman tool. So you have your MagnaCut blade, and for many people that will replace the knife they've been carrying along with their multi-tool. We have the saw, we've got Leatherman's bit driver, their can opener, we have the scissors, we've got the file, we've got the screwdriver, bottle cap lifter, the micro driver, and then the awl that also has the wire stripping notch as well as the hammer service and the pliers, the crimpers, the replaceable cutters. And I don't want to talk too much about the replaceable cutters because it does sound like Leatherman is trying to address the issue, and we'll see how that works out. All right, so for a lot of people, again, this will be the ideal, the one end-all multi-tool that they have been searching for. But perhaps for some of you, the price is still a little too high, especially those overseas, where I have heard the Leatherman Arc is going upwards of £400 to £500 or whatever your currency equivalent is. It sounds very, very expensive. So what are some other options? Again, I don't know. In the US, most of us can get this. Perhaps overseas, some of you can purchase some of these tools as well. Now, when we talk about Gerber has an interesting history with their tools, and the closest one right now that I can think of that would perhaps compete against the Arc is the center drive. Now, the Arc comes in $230, 8.6 ounces, or around 243 grams. The center drive is definitely heavier, comes in at 9.5 ounces, or 269 grams, but it's only $128 or so. And you can find these used for about half that price fairly regularly. Now on my center drive, I've added the pocket clip. You do have the replaceable cutters. You've got spring-loaded pliers, which you do not have on the Arc. You do have one-hand opening pliers as well. So for some people, that will be very nice. You've got the very long knife blade. You've got the 1/4 inch, very long locking bit driver, which again is a huge plus. And then when we look at the inside tools, we've got the bit holder right here for your extra bit. I did add this pocket clip. I think it was just out of a utility knife I had lying around, and I just tighten that on. It's not perfect, but it works. And then the center drive has this pry tool, and then it does also have a file. It does have an awl, and then it does have the serrated blade as well. And the bit just fell out right there. So you do get all these options with the center drive. And I was trying to remember, I guess there is no saw on my center drive. So I don't see the saw. So that is one thing you are missing, but you do have the knife blade. So that's what you get. Now, there is another version of the center drive, the Rescue, and I will be reviewing that coming up shortly, perhaps in a week or so. But I think this does offer a lot of value for many people. This may not be the perfect tool set. Gerber does have they're trying to get to a personalized design where you can add logos and everything. Leatherman does the same. And then Gerber has a very limited way that I think you can switch some tool sets around perhaps. It's been a little while since I was on their website, so you might want to check that out. So this is the center drive, again, $127 or I think $128, and it comes in at that 9.5 ounces. Now, some people might say, well, why didn't you talk about the MP600 or something similar? Well, the MP600 is about the same size as the center drive. I guess it's a little bit lighter, but pocket-wise, it's pretty close. It is a little bit thinner. So that's why I think the center drive is a more premium tool than the MP600. So I would pick the center drive. Now, What I wish would happen is, I wish that Gerber would redesign the flick and bring back the flick. I feel like the flick was definitely more of a premium tool. It has a more premium feel about it. You have these long blades like so, and then you even had a very long set of scissors. The downfall was you had these microscopic teeny blades right here, and I do have a full video detailing this, but I really like this tool. I don't use it, but I think it's really cool. If they could somehow integrate a 1/4-inch bit driver here, that would just be amazing. But this right here, I think, could have been Gerber's big break had it been designed a little bit different. All right, so let's jump to SOG. Now, SOG has two tools that I am considering. They've got a bunch of tools sort of in this arena, but these are the two that I think come closest to the ARC in my opinion. Now, the SOG Assist would be my tool of choice because I feel like it feels better built. It's still an older SOG design than some of SOG's newer tools. Not that I hate SOG's tools, that's not the case, but I just feel like this has a little bit better feel to it. It feels more old school, heavy duty built. So this right here has the amazing power lock, or the compound leverage system is what I meant to say. And that is really cool right there. On the one side, it will be very similar to the power lock. There we go. And then there are all these tools you can fan out. You've got the cutter, you've got the can opener, the screwdrivers, the bottle cap lifter, and the file right there. And then this particular one does have the piano locks, and then you can close that up. It does have the cover. And then on the other side, you have some outside accessible tools. So you have the knife that is assisted, and then you do also have the serrated blade that's assisted as well. So I feel like it does, again, feel a little bit more premium. I've read some people that feel like this is one of SOG's best tools. I don't know if I go that far, but it is a pretty cool tool, and I'm glad to have it in my collection. So the tool, I'm sure, and I should mention that this comes in at 9, or this one actually, the Power Assist comes in at 9.3 ounces, and it comes in at $90, and it is 263 grams. So keep that in mind. Again, 8.6 ounces, 9.3 ounces, not a huge difference. And again, this tool is a bigger frame size, but again, it is fairly carryable. I just wish it had a pocket clip, but unfortunately it doesn't. All right, now, a lot of people probably would say the SOG Power Access or Power Access Deluxe. There's so many, SOG has so many power words, it gets a little confusing. But the Power Access Deluxe, people would probably say is the closest to the Leatherman ARC. And probably it is at 8.7 ounces instead of 8.6. It's very close. You do have this 1/4-inch bit holder right here at the top. Again, you have the great compound leverage system. This is more of your stonewash finish right here. You have your markings right here. It can almost become a protractor. I don't think many people are using that function. And then again, you do have all these tools that are outside opening. But my big thing with this is once you open these tools, they feel very small. And this almost feels like a substitute for like a Leatherman skeletal. It doesn't feel like a huge beefy tool. You've got very small tool blades, knife blades. You've got the saw. You've got this smaller file. You have the screwdrivers, you can fit a 1/4-inch socket on there. You have your Phillips screwdriver. You've got your micro driver, bottle cap lifter as well. So you've got a lot of tools, but compared to the ARC, I just feel like they're not quite up to snuff. So again, when you compare these two knife blades, but the price is drastically different. So this comes in somewhere around the $85 price point. This comes in, around $230. So you've got about $130, $40 to play with extra when you buy one of these that you'd have to invest in the Arc. So you do have to take that into consideration. But again, I do feel like they're not very comparable. It's hard to compare. And SOG really doesn't have anything super deluxe really that they're offering on their website. Now, probably the closest competitor that there is at the moment to the Leatherman Arc is the Victorinox Spirit. Now, unfortunately, I have an older version, so I don't have the new version where you have that nice one-hand opening knife, but this is the older version. This does come in at 7.4 ounces, $127. So this is a very minimalist tool compared, it's even lighter than the Arc, but it does offer a lot. So it does have very robust pliers. And then you have all the tools do open on the outside. They are locking. And with Victorinox, at least with my older tools, I have found that these tools don't basically move much at all. They pretty much, the pivots stay in point. So I guess that's a negative and a positive. You can't easily access these tools as much, but they don't wobble and fail on you either. So that is something to keep in mind. So I've got scissors on mine. I do have the can opener. I've got this screwdriver, the Phillips driver, the file. I've got a saw and all. And then the wire tool, wire stripper, wire cutter, or bender. And then we've got this large screwdriver. We've got, again, mine is so old. This is the knife on mine. And then we do have this bottle cap lifter as well. So again, the newer Victorinox Spirit, they've changed some of the implements around. And again, they have changed the design of the knife for the better. But this is my Victorinox Spirit, old school, and it is still a great tool. So I feel like this is definitely the closest competitor to the Leatherman Arc that is not another Leatherman tool. So this one, again, coming in almost $100 less than the Leatherman Arc. That's something you'd have to decide if it's worth it to get the Victorinox. I do feel like Victorinox definitely has a bunch. I mean, it's really made well. It's definitely a quality multi-tool. But one of the things, even with Leatherman's flaws, is I would miss the replaceable bits and the ability to mod your tools. So if Leatherman would ever have an issue where they're backed up with warranty, one of the cool things is once you learn how to mod your tools, you could buy parts and you could fix your tool yourself. Now with Victorinox, you're not going to fix the tool yourself. You would have to send this in for a warranty if it ever breaks. So keep that in mind. All right, let me know your thoughts below. Which multi-tool do you think is a closest competitor to the Leatherman Arc that is not a Leatherman? I love to hear your comments.